Atlantis, and I'm just being filled with, like, I don't even know, like, inspiration. Um, Probably because Lestat is my favorite character. The Vampire Chronicles is my favorite book series ever since I was probably about 13, 14. I remember watching Interview with the Vampire, being super enthralled with that movie. And then when Queen of the Damned came out, even though it does veer very far away from the actual book, I still associate that. You know, it's Interview with the Vampire and it's Queen of the Damned. Those two films, you know, are very, I don't know, inspirational to me. I love Aaliyah, and I love how Queen Akasha was portrayed in that movie. If anything was right about that movie, I think it was Queen Akasha. You know, even though the early Vampire Chronicles comic books did portray the Queen of the Damned Akasha, or the Queen of Heaven Akasha, as a white character, I just really feel like Aaliyah completely embodied Queen Akasha, and when you think of Queen Akasha, you do think of Aaliyah's character as Queen Akasha. Gorgeous, completely gorgeous. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. And yeah, so I've just tonight, you know, I've been reading the book, and I've also been listening to Simon Vance's audiobook version as he's reading Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis. And Anne Rice is doing her book signings right now. She's taking a lot of questions from her fans, as well as making a very, very fantastic, you know, she just made an announcement that she owns the rights to all of her Vampire Chronicles once again. As some of you might know, Universal Pictures owned pretty much all of her vampire novels, and I don't know if that included the Mayfair Witches, but definitely the Vampire Chronicles were owned by Universal, and they were planning on putting out some films, but that didn't quite work out for whatever reason. And so Anne Rice, as well as her gorgeous son Christopher Rice, they have announced that they are currently working on the pilot episode for the very you know, amazing idea of the Vampire Chronicles being a TV show to the likes of Game of Thrones, or, you know, even like Carnival, or just a really gorgeous, I want to say intrepid, you know, TV show, one that's really going to stay true to the material that she's written in the books, and that is completely gorgeous to me. I love that whole concept of word-for-word stories. I hate that TV and television, TV and movies tend to veer quite away from whatever the source material is that they're trying to portray on film. So it's been very inspiring to hear that she got her rights back, and she is currently developing a pilot script with her gorgeous and very talented son, Christopher Rice. So with him being executive producer and him being so talented, and as well working right by her side, I know that they're going to stay very true to the source material of the Vampire Chronicles novels that she's been writing since the 70s. So very, very beautiful. And I just got finished watching one of her book signings. You know, Beckett, which is her very loyal assistant, he's always doing the live feeds on Facebook, and I really appreciate those because it kind of puts you there even though you can't be there. I can't be there. I live in Las Vegas. I checked her tour. She's not going to be in Las Vegas, unfortunately, so I'm not going to have the opportunity to meet her and have my book signed by her, although I do have her autograph. But I just wanted to make this video because I'm so excited for the Vampire Chronicles. I wish there was more people talking about the Vampire Chronicles. You know, I've been checking Facebook ever since the release of Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis, and I'm just still not seeing very many people posting online, which is strange to me. I need that. I want fans to post videos on YouTube. I want people to talk about their ideas and their love for the concept and for the Vampire Chronicles just as a whole. I want people to discuss that. I really wanted to make this video because I've, you know, with Prince Lestat, the book that came out in 2014, I was like kind of hurt that Tarquin Blackwood wasn't in there or Mona Mayfair wasn't in there, and I was very happy that a fan asked her about that at this latest book signing. I think it was a fan that was on the Facebook page, but they had asked, and Beckett asked the question to Anne during her little seminar there at the book signing. Is Tarquin Blackwood going to be in this series, and what about Mona Mayfair? And she said that she hadn't quite worked that out with herself yet. She doesn't quite know, were they killed during the burnings of the young fledglings, or are they still alive? She said she hasn't worked that out with herself yet, so once she kind of gets a clearer view, hopefully she'll be able to portray that. And she has confirmed that she is working on, another novel after Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis, which is mind-boggling. As you might know, in October her birthday passed, and she is 75 years old. And I've just been looking at her, through the years of her interviews on YouTube, things that you can see public, just how she's grown and how she's matured. And, when she did come out with that announcement that she wasn't going to be writing any more Vampire Chronicles, I was heartbroken. But I definitely wanted to respect her decision, because I very well understand, going from this lifestyle to trying to be Christian, and it really does take over your life. It takes over your mind, and you do want to kind of, change your way of life, change your thinking, and you want to change your influences and change what is in your daily life. And so I never faulted her for deciding to step away from the Vampire Chronicles and, her more supernatural books. And when she did the Christ, the Lord out of Egypt, and Christ, the Exit to the Road, I'm not even saying that right, the second book to the Christ the Lord book, what is that, Exit to the Road of Cana, yeah. Anyway, I never faulted her for that, because I understand what it's like to make that change in your life. And since she has decided to come back to the Vampire Chronicles, probably in the midst that all of these vampire fictions are coming to the fore. Vampires are very popular with the whole Twilight Saga, True Blood, Vampire Diaries, and then all these other fiction works that have come out in TV and in the media. She was like, wait a minute. And it's interesting because, oh God, I'm not going to remember her name. I want to say Janet Landau. Oh God, if I butchered that, please forgive me. But there is a very gorgeous, very talented actress who is working on a documentary that she funded on Indiegogo, and God, I butchered her name. I can't even, it's just lost to me right now. But she is working on a documentary, and it's interesting because she features a lot of directors, actors, writers, producers, and just different individuals who are famous for their vampire fictions, stating that, Anne Rice really wrote the book on vampire fiction, with that romantic backstory, that, very glorious romantic inside look to what is it like for a vampire to be alive in this day and age. And it's interesting because Anne Rice did start the Vampire Chronicles in the 70s, and she's worked her way to the 2016. So it's so interesting, but it's funny, that a lot of different very talented vampire fiction associates are really naming her as their main source of inspiration, because she really is the queen of the damned. Anne Rice wrote the book on vampires. And I always felt very offended, that all of these other vampire fictions were getting so popular, but really they're a mock of Anne Rice's work. It's an idea that Anne Rice really set in stone. Like, why weren't the Vampire Chronicles made into a series like Twilight, or like True Blood, or the Vampire Diaries, or even, these other films that have been very popular? It was mind-boggling to me. I was like, is there a curse on Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles? Why aren't they paying homage to the one person who did this and did it right, you know, who wrote fictions about vampires and did it fucking right, did everything right. Lestat is the most interesting vampire, I think, to ever, you know, to ever influence the public. I think he's the most influential, most recognizable vampire ever, besides Dracula. And so, why she wasn't being paid homage, or why she wasn't, being done, why her work wasn't being done in a very true light, I was just completely mind boggled by that. I felt like, is there a curse on her work? Like, why are they not giving her this throne that she deserves? So it's very interesting watching that documentary, or hearing about it, I should say. It hasn't been released yet, but it is called Among the Undead. Among the Undead, or something to that effect. I'll post a link. But you could definitely go help that. I believe they are still crowdfunding. I don't know exactly when it's going to be released, but I have been able to see clips from the documentary, and just hearing, like Tim Burton and all these other actors and producers and directors stating how Anne Rice really influenced all of their work, and they're famous for all these different vampire fictions. So I am just so excited. I feel so inspired that Anne Rice is coming back to her Vampire Chronicles. Something about the Vampire Chronicles has just been super influential to me since I was in high school, maybe even younger. Actually, yeah, younger, maybe middle school is when I started really paying attention to Anne Rice. And it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, that she's 75 years old. She started her first book in 1972 or 1973. It was finally published in 1976, and it's 2016, and she's still writing about this character, Lestat, and all these other vampires. I just feel so inspired by her. I love her so much, and I just pray that she stays healthy, and that her mind stays in that place of writing these vampire fictions. I just wanted to make this video to talk about, a little bit about the TV show. She did say she wants Matt Bomer to play Louis, and I think in this latest seminar she did state who she wanted to be another character, and that is just amazing. I had to write on her page, and I'm like, you have to make Alexz Johnson Bianca. I always see Bianca as Alexz Johnson in my mind. Alexz Johnson is an amazing singer, songwriter, actress, philanthropist, model, amazing person, and singer-songwriter. If you've never heard of Alexz Johnson, please go to alexjohnson.com. I'll post a link. Go check out her music on YouTube. You might recognize her and not even realize who I'm talking about. Anyway, I did recommend her as being Bianca in the TV series, so hopefully somebody will pay attention to that and at least give her a chance. I'm sure she'd definitely jump on the job, if it was handed to her, or if they let her audition. So I'm just so excited. I'm sitting back in my room, I've been reading the book and listening to Simon Vance as I'm reading the book. Because I just adore Simon Vance. He's so talented reading Anne Rice's books, and I love the way his accent changes whatever character he's reading, and he's so talented, and Anne Rice is so talented, so it just, them two together. I'm so excited for the Vampire Chronicles. If you were put off by the title, Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis, please don't be put off. It's so interesting, and the book is so good, so give it a chance and definitely go buy it. Go check it out. Looking forward to the new Vampire Chronicles TV series. I can't wait, and especially with Anne Rice and Christopher Rice being in the driver's seat, we're not going to be let down. I just can't wait. Even though they did state that there are potentially going to be compromises, as there always is in Hollywood production. But I'm so excited to see how this plays out. And Anne did say she's working on yet another Vampire Chronicle even after Prince Lestat in the Realms of Atlantis. So excited for that. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, Anne Rice. Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you, Eric Quinn, for being an amazing cohort and for being so supportive of Christopher and his mother Anne. And Beckett, thank you so much for all of your hard work and keeping the fans involved and keeping us incorporated in everything that's happening. Just love you guys. Thank you so much. And, you know, just a fan. And signing out now. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.